Hey guys, welcome back. You're sitting on the Big Game Hunters podcast. We're on the hashtag MagnaOnAir digital network, magnasearchgroup.tv. Landon Hood, Rory McMillan. We're bringing you a cool show today. We figured, why not, right? People talk about this in the office.
People struggle with it every day.
People struggle with this every single day. We're talking about ways to really increase your productivity.
Yeah.
If you're in the workforce and you're not getting anything done, nothing's happening for you, you're not hitting your deadlines, you're not ticking things off of your to-do list, and you're just being average and nothing's happening.
Yeah.
You're sitting there wasting your time, getting distracted by outside influences that's really driving your business nowhere. Well, we want to help you. We want to talk about ways on how you can increase your productivity.
In this day and age, it's a struggle. The certain generation, the millennial generation, I mean, there's so many distractions. Facebook, social media, Snapchat, whatever it is, Instagram. It's so hard for a lot of people to be productive and to really focus at the task at hand because they don't have a plan. They sit there, they have an idea of what needs to get done, but they don't really have a sort of a strategy to attack it. Mm-hmm. And so, there's different ways and different, methods that people have used in terms of increasing productivity. There's a thing called the Pomodoro Technique, which is basically the idea of breaking down your action and breaking down your tasks into 25-minute increments and then taking breaks in between. Because oftentimes what'll happen, and I can be guilty of this, anybody can be guilty of this, you have something you have to do, you're like, all right, I'm going to spend the day doing this. But then when you're doing it and you don't really give yourself breaks, it's like really hard to fully focus. So if you say, listen, I'm going to work for 25 minutes or I'm going to work for 52 minutes and I'm going to take a 5-minute break or I'm going to take a 17-minute break, whichever works particularly well for you. There's another 52-17 technique that works as well. That's the way you should do it. Set a timer, set a time. And we spoke about this a little bit earlier in terms of making lists and breaking down your work, but that's the way to do it because honestly, if you don't set a plan of attack, productivity is tough, man. It's very tough.
So do you recommend them getting an agenda and writing this down first thing in the morning and they tick it off during the day, or is this something that you do from Monday for the whole week?
Well, absolutely. So certainly setting a plan, and there's another thing called getting things done, which is basically you sit down, you decide, okay, what's the macro and what's the micro. You go in and you break down each, your overall goal into different blocks. And then I think it's a really good idea to break them into actual incremental time frames. So say I'm going to work from 5 o'clock till 5:25. 5:25 to 5:40, I'm going to take a break. I'm going to do my Facebook, go on social media.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to do. And then from 5:45 to 6:15, I'm going to do this, this, and this, and have your plan, check off the list, and do it that way. Because otherwise, if you just sort of, you have this big idea of what needs to be done, and you just sit there, you can get overwhelmed, you can get distracted. It can be overwhelming. Like, I want to be a successful entrepreneur. I want to be a successful headhunter. I want to be a successful, mouse salesman. I don't care what it is. If you sit there and you have this big plan and you want to grow business, but it's just a vague idea and you don't break it down.
It's like when you're dabbling in this or dabbling in that. I'm going to do this today. I'm going to do that today.
Exactly.
Or I want to achieve this task today, but you end up doing nothing.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. It's like there's too many things.
We've all been there.
You get overwhelmed, but if there's too many things and there's not like just one small hole, just all the things block the little hole. If you break all these things into tiny little bits, put it through the hole, put it through the hole, put it through the hole. Eventually, this big blob of things that needs to be done.
Boom!
Through the hole.
Off you go. Success. Achievement. You feel achievement.
There's the secret, guys.
Job done. Job done. Yeah, great point you bring up there. I think that you really need to write it down. You need to be organized. You need to understand what's most important. I think get the most important things out of your way first. Get in the office, get your coffee, get organized. Get your stuff together and start focusing on what's important. What do I need to accomplish today? What's about to approach deadline? Where am I falling behind?
Yeah.
Focus all of your attention on that. And sometimes it helps to really focus on the difficult tasks first.
Absolutely.
Right? Especially if you're in sales and you're looking to make a sales call, it's like get the most difficult ones out of the way early, and then focus on the easy ones in the afternoon.
Yeah.
That's what really helps me, right? But I think that if you're in sales or operations or manufacturing or anywhere within inside a company, I think get focused on the difficult tasks, then streamline your way to the earlier task, and don't take on too many things at once because you're not going to get anything done right.
Yeah.
You got to control your focus. Your focus has to be controlled on like the attention it takes to each task too as well. I think when you lose focus and you lose your drive and your motives, you really care less about your priorities, right? How to prioritize, how to be productive,
Absolutely.
How to accomplish what you want to accomplish. And, in turn, that can really affect your personal growth, your personal development. Because if I really want to plan and to get ahead in my career and I don't set strategic timelines or timeframes on how I can be more productive, the things I need to be productive at to accomplish that timeline, it's just never going to happen.
Yeah, and you talk about priorities, and of course, those are key. It's easy to break up, everything that needs to be done into timeframes and whatnot.
Yeah.
But if you don't do the most important things first, if you don't make sure that deadlines are hit, that's critical. And oftentimes, I mean, people can be guilty of this a lot, is you want sort of the tasks to come to you. Email is a good example of that. You come in the morning, you have your list of emails you go through, and you can spend the whole heck of a lot of time going through your emails. And then if you have your email open, pop, oh, there's an email, take care of that. Pop, oh, there's an email, take care of that. You're a farmer. You're not really.
There's too many things going on. I think what you need to do is just shut down. If your emails continue, and I see this every single day. We see this in our office. Like, emails just consume so much of people's time, and it's like, how much time has actually gone by? You're looking at hours. Half an hour's turned into hours turn into 3 hours, and it just becomes too much because all that get inundated. You get off track. You're not focused.
I've seen COOs turn into customer service
administrators.
Just basically, because they're just it's like whack-a-mole, right? They're just finishing up, attending to tasks as they happen. And of course, certain industries, it is important to be available and ready to answer emails and ready to answer phone calls. Of course, there's no denying that. But at the same time, there's always goals and strategies.
So why don't we reverse it? Why wouldn't we list our distractions? And determine what's distracting us and how to eliminate the distractions from your day-to-day tasks.
It's a great idea.
Get rid of those distractions.
And take those blocks to work. And you list those distractions and say some of the distractions are good distractions that you enjoy doing, and some of the distractions are bad distractions that you don't enjoy doing. But set those times in between those work hours, those increments of 25, whatever it is, 52 minutes, to say, okay, this is time. This is my distraction hour time. This is my dark playground. I'm going to go figure out, I'm going to do these things. I'm going to do these things that I shouldn't be doing during this amount of time. And then my productive hours aren't wasted doing those things.
That's right. And cigarette breaks and extended lunches. I think it's you're not accomplishing anything. You're just more wasting people's time and wasting your own time. I think if you're going to show up each and every day and you're going to be there and you want to be productive and you want to be producing, you got to show up. You got to be ready. You got to have your head in the game. And I think so much of this requires laser focus, which a lot of people do not have. Is the focus, right? Sometimes I admit, I get off focus. I get off my purpose. I don't understand, what I want to accomplish, and my productivity goes out the window.
It can happen to anybody.
It can happen to anyone. But we want to help you. We want to help our community. We want to help our audience. Distractions will happen. Follow the systems. Write it down. Keep organized.
Find what works for you.
Stay laser focused. And we want to continue bringing you shows like this each and every week. Landon Hood, Rory McMillan. Subscribe to our network, and we'll see you next week.